Hi, I am so excited to have my daughter-in-law Shawna with us today. She's married to my oldest son Joseph, and they've been married for close to 6 years, was it? And so, one of our core values here at Generation Eve is that we want women to have authentic, real conversations so that they can have authentic, real relationships. And sometimes the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship can be really contentious. Comics make all kind of jokes about it in their routines, and you often hear people talk about their mother-in-laws in a negative way. But Sean and I have been able to really have a really sweet relationship with one another. And so I know that coming up the holidays, many of you just spent a lot of time with your in-laws, and maybe there are some tricky relational dynamics. And so Sean and I wanted to be able to share with you some things that we have worked through over the 6 years, that we've been able to come to a really great place with one another and just talk about some things that she's done right and some things that I've done right, and maybe you can take some of these away and help make your relationship with your mother-in-law or your daughter-in-law a really sweet, healthy relationship. Okay, so I'm going to throw it to Shawna, and she's going to share with you some of the things that I have done well.
So when I was thinking about doing this vlog, the first thing that kept coming to mind was, I think a huge thing that you guys have done really great is just, it sounds so simple, but just let us be married. I think from the very beginning, both sets of parents are so protective over the child that's getting married, and that they're so afraid of losing that person, that things kind of get to be like they're overbearing, or they're taking sides with the daughter-in-law or the son or whatnot. And you guys just really well have let us be married and let us figure things out, and have always been there to lend a helping hand or a listening ear, or even if it's just been, oh, we got in this argument this week, but it's a joke now, so let's talk about it. And even in a weird way, kind of walked through kind of what had happened that week. You guys have always been there in that way, but you've never pushed yourselves on us or made it to where we needed to do it a certain way, or we needed to do it the way that you guys did it. You just let us figure it out and learn from our mistakes, and you just kind of let me have him, if that's a good way to put it.
Absolutely. Shawna is immeasurably more than what I could have ever thought or imagined for Joseph. I think the things that I have really appreciated about Shawna is she has loved our son Joseph so well, and she has respected him, and he adores her. And so when you see that your child is so happy, and why would you not want to celebrate that and support that? And I think something else Joe and Shawna have done really well, particularly Shawna, is she's really been really giving and gracious in the area of holidays, and wanting us to be a part of their celebrations and a part of their family. And Joe and Shawna have also really included Joe's siblings, and so they do a lot of one-on-ones with Joseph's brother Philip and with his sister Caroline. So we have really felt that they've included us in their celebrations and their holidays, and that has meant a lot to us. And I think for Mark and I, we chose not to demand or insist that Joe and Shawna spend holidays with us. We really wanted them to figure out when, where, and how to do those celebrations. Because if you remember, as a newly married, when you were newlywed, and in those first several years, you develop traditions with your own families. And I really wanted, and Mark and I both wanted, Joe and Shawna to be able to develop those types of traditions with their own families. And but still, they have been so gracious to include us in their holidays and in their celebrations.
Yeah, and I think that with the lack of pressure from my in-laws, it's helped us want to be there. It's when there's no pressure coming from either side, and there's a mutual understanding of, you guys are married now, you've created your own life, you want your own traditions. There's an idea of, we just want to be with our family. And so we realize that both sides are family now. And so with a lack of pressure, there's so much greater of a desire to be with them, because we know that they understand, and the level of understanding is so much greater when you have a healthy relationship and there's room for mistakes and learning and growing.
So we just wanted to share some of these things with you. I hope it's been helpful for you. On Friday, we are going to post in our blog some nuts and bolts of some boundaries that you can establish between your daughter-in-law and mother-in-law so that relationship can stay healthy and thriving and sweet. So thank you so much for joining us at Generation Eve, and we will have that post up for you on Friday. Thanks, Shawna.
Yeah, thank you.